Yeah. Yes. I understand. Yep. God damn it! Recently, as in 4 seconds ago, my doctor diagnosed me with laziness and a mild case of not being Dwayne Johnson, and has advised me to begin exercising. Now, I hate to get political, trust me, every time I do I get put on some sort of wanted list, but I do have one question. What the f*** is a basketball? Every goddamn time. You can't tame me! So instead of following the advice of a licensed professional who wants me to not do the whole being deceased thing, or so he says, I'm going to be taking a look at something that should hopefully expand my sporting expertise and take me off all of the wanted lists that I'm now on. If there is a god. Mario sports games, my favourite way to play sports but not in the real world. Just something about them, man. There's a sense of realism that just can't be achieved with other sports games. FIFA? Okay, sure buddy, can I play as a dinosaur in FIFA? Checkmate, atheists. While I'm sure all of the Mario sports games have their own charm, there's always been one that I've held dear to me, and there's something a bit special compared to the rest. How did Nintendo fit so much yes into such a small and short cinematic? If you haven't watched this thing, do yourself a favour and get on it. It's such a masterpiece. The music, the animation, the super slick and smooth transitions from sport to sport, it's just so yes. I mean, Mario Sports Mix is a game that the gods at Nintendo blessed us with in November of 2010. Something immediately interesting about this game is that it was co-developed by Square Enix, and as a result of this, some unlikely candidates joined the roster this time around. Along with our ragtag roundup of Mario All-Stars and Daisy, characters from the Final Fantasy series and the Dragon Quest series are playable in this entry. White Mage, Black Mage, Moogle, Slime, Cactuar, and, get this, Ninja. Very original name. All of these characters join the roster, and believe it or not, I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. Really? Nor am I a Dragon Quest guy. What?! Which leads me to not care at all. That's a lie, Cactuar is really fun to play as, and Moogle and Slime are just adorable. That's not going to stop me from only playing the characters I have any sort of connection to, aka Yoshi. But Blue! Yeah, characters are cool and all until you realise you don't actually know what you're doing with them, so let's talk about what you do in this game. And just a disclaimer, you'll have to excuse my lack of subject terminology. I'm still yet to evolve into a Dwayne Johnson. This game consists of a mix of Mario sports. I see what you did there, you sneaky sneakers. Being basketball, volleyball, dodgeball and hockey. In each sport you play an exhibition or a tournament. The former is exactly what you'd expect, but the tournament... Guys, this game has a story. Kind of. If there's one thing I at least know something about when it comes to sports games, it's stories. So allow me to give you a brief story synopsis. A meteor goes crash and then oh no Toad! But then it's crystals with sports in and then gameplay. I love this game. Each tournament consists of 3 cups being Mushroom, Flower and Star Cup, each one being more difficult than the last. Each sport allows you to choose between teams of 2 or 3, and as far as I can tell, it makes very little difference. I normally like to make combinations that make canonical sense, but sometimes I like to get a little bit wacky and pair Luigi and Bowser Jr. This is anarchy! The tournament consists of multiple matches against opponents, with each win sending you further up the board towards the trophy. The arena you play on is preset and doesn't change, meaning you get a good taste of all of the different locales. You play against Mushroom Kingdom veterans until the Star Cup when... Ninja and his mages crash the party, nab the trophy and whisk you away to a Mario Galaxy-like arena, which is pretty freaking cool! Once you beat the final batch of opponents, a number of things happen. 1! You get a crystal that we saw in the opening that is representative of which sport you're playing. These become very important later. Just trust me on this one. 2! Character unlock. Not guaranteed, but for most of the earlier ones, it's very likely. New routes open up in each cup. This one is the most interesting to me personally. It somehow manages to add replay value to something that would otherwise be a one and done deal. These alternate routes allow you to stray away from the action and take a tour of places that God forbid Reggie knows you were at. These routes make tournaments longer, but they're almost always worth it because you get new courses and some sweet, sweet alternate costumes. Look at this! Once you complete every tournament and grab every crystal, a little thing I like to call fusion happens. Turns out the crystals were bad after all. Who'd have thunk it? Your character experiences a mild seizure before getting sucked into what I can only assume is an interdimensional portal. Why do I assume this? Well... when you arrive in this new dimension, you are with... Oh no, be careful, Yosh! Oh, what is that? The behemoth from Final Fantasy appears. What in the ass is this? And, as you would expect, a boss battle ensues. This fight is legitimately amazing. It combines every sport in some way. There's items all over the place, and Toad can wield a frickin' sword. I've said it once in this video, and I'll say it again. I love this game. Once the beast is defeated, he spits out the Dark Crystal, and the gang take it back to power the ship. And roll credits. After the credits roll, you learn that the Dark Crystal is actually a new mode called... I know the credits just rolled, but if this isn't a roll credits moment, I don't know what is. Sports Mix, another tournament that is both hard as nails and is a random assortment of all of the sports into one. I love this game! But Dwayne "The Rawk" Johnson, you haven't told us what we do in each sport. I know, I got carried away with the story. Also, side note, that pun took me 25 minutes to think of. The sports are... exactly what you'd expect. Basketball. Throw the ball, bounce the ball, slam, dunk! Also, you get to punch people. Volleyball, 3-pass slam, first to 15 wins. Hockey, skate, steal and smack the puck. You get to abuse people in this one too. Dodgeball, the name and aim of the game is pain. If you get hit out, you can still play from the afterlife. In each level, there's a gimmick that changes up how you play, and is different for each sport. You can use classic Mario Kart style items either to power up the ball or puck, or place directly onto the field. Each one does exactly what you'd expect it to, but they all add a fun and chaotic element to matches. Coins do different things depending on whether or not you're playing dodgeball. In the point-based games, 1 coin adds to your next batch of points. If you shoot a 3-pointer in basketball, you'll get 4, and you can collect up to 10 coins. In dodgeball, each coin allows for more health to be taken away from an opponent's meter, meaning you can one-shot people with certain setups. Koopa Troopa Beach. Every sport has a special meter which, when filled, allows you to unleash godlike moves of mass destruction. Each character has a unique one, and it varies slightly depending on the sport. These are a load of fun, and are a welcome addition. There is one more thing this game has to offer, and that's party mode. Honestly, one of my favourite parts of the game. There are 4 different mini-games that are a spin on the 4 main sports. Feed the hungry plant man with basketballs, volleyball your way to a harmonious symphony, dodge literal bombs, and watch those around you perish. Or abuse your friends for points. If they die, you get more. Rated E for evil. The 2 I personally get the most fun out of are the latter 2. Something about running at sonic speed from explosions as a cactus is... it's quite magical to me. Well, I've done it. I've finally covered everything this game has to offer. Whew! Hopefully that'll be enough for me to... What's going on? What?
Smoldering intensity.
Do you get it? It's funny because Dwayne "The Rawk" Johnson, but Rawk. So like Dwayne "The Rawk" Johnson.